What is up, nerds? Today we're looking at MC event opinions. Woo! These were all pretty controversial opinions. No, they're not controversial. Most of them are fine. So yeah, it's a good time. Good time. Let's get into it. So this was. Firstly, we have Taylor, who literally made the post, so of course their opinion is first. And they said hide-and-seek games are the best event games for both players and viewers. No, they're not. I literally go off the last hide-and-seek I played, which was in Mania, where I think I died first in like 6 out of the 9 rounds, which is crazy. It's crazy that managed to happen. And I was hiding in different spots as well. But I think it just depends what you like. I really do like the hide and seek games. I don't hate them. I think they're quite fun. I just wish there was I wish there was a way to include running around a bit more, figuring out where to hide. Because I feel like I'm chucked into them and then suddenly it becomes a bit of luck sometimes. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I do think I don't know if they are for viewers, right? Because you're just standing in one spot most of the time. I don't think that's that entertaining. Mine is people should have fun. That's not really an opinion. I'll be honest. I was looking for likes. This is from Brewberry, who is based. Events have issues with inviting non-men to their roster. Non-mask. And I did a year ago, you may remember I did a bunch of stat finding, and yeah, they do. I think it's about 35% of players are non-mask, which I feel like it should be 50-50. And we're talking non-mask, we're not talking female to male, right? We're talking non-mask to male, so that includes non-binary and so on and so on and so on, femme presenting. I feel like it should be way closer. I'm hoping I'm making changes in the community to stop that, or to at least make it a bit closer with the events that I do. But constantly, there's a lot to be said about. If you watched a year ago, there was a Wolfie video sort of explaining. There's a lot to be said about sort of not just inviting people to be, in the event because they're non-mask. You don't want to invite people for inclusivity reasons. But at the same time, there is just a bunch of talented non-mask creators. There's loads of talented non-mask creators out there that you can invite. So at least I'm hoping to continue to push towards making sure there's more non-mask creators. Anyway, Mel, who is again incredibly based. You can care about individual placement without being a sweat. That's true. I'm definitely not a sweat, and I care. I want to do well. I don't want to come last, and sometimes I do want to come last when. I don't want anyone else to come last. People don't know the difference about caring about individual and being toxic about individual. People that are care about individual and where they place are fine, but if you're making it your team's issue, that's when it's a line. You don't want to do that. So yeah, I think that's pretty base. Mini Borrow. If you're definite in the game, you're a loser. Most games this is true, but unless if you're talking to your chat, you're fine. But if you just if you deafen during race games and parkour games, it's fine. I get it. You want to concentrate. You want to sweat it out a bit, but that's fine. As we just said, you can sweat. Actually, this doesn't say you sweat, but it's fine. There's nothing wrong with people trying to playing to win an event as long as you don't bring down team vibes and energy. If you have a problem with people trying to win you, it's kind of on you. I agree with this. I'm always trying to win events. That's a true fact. I know it doesn't seem like it because I'm bad at events, but I am actually trying to win events all the time. It's just based on what I do. I am a very competitive person. I have a lot of siblings. It's sort of inherently in there to be competitive. But yes, so as I said, true that. I think that's based. You should learn how to play a certain game instead of criticising it and saying it's bad. Spieth and Blitzhunt. I do think that's fair. Like some hide and seek games can be difficult, but you can learn how to play them. You can learn how to play Spieth. It's all sort of, there's quite a lot of RNG in there, but if anything, Blue Lock has taught me RNG is not all just luck. It can just be there, and you can use it to your advantage. I wish people didn't base every event game off MCC games. I don't think that's entirely true. I think there's a lot of inspiration, but most of the MCC games are based on other games that have been posted already by like Minecraft back in the day, when they used to like host games. I remember used to play the Switch games on Minecraft. So they had like survival games and so on and so forth. Honestly, most of them are based on Hypixel. Or at least games that Hypixel eventually got. So yeah, I don't think that's entirely true. I think especially games like I'm gonna say it. Bio Battle like does something different with its games. I'm thinking a lot of Open Slime. I think that's very different, but that's based on Splatoon, and there's a few ones that are based on Splatoon. It's mainly just based on real world games. If you watch Wolfie's Extras, and you listen to the Danny Pistachio interview, I think they talk there about game design, and it's very, very good. It's a good listen. It's a good listen to understand what they mean there. I really did enjoy that podcast episode, and I hope to see more. But yeah, Danny sort of talked about how they have a bunch of games across the world, and that's how they played a bunch of games in real life in this like game area, and that's how they came up with a bunch of games for PB, and I thought that was sick. Actually, targeting practically never happens at an event, and people whine about it, hilariously pathetic. I don't think that's entirely true. Targeting does happen a lot. You can target people based on even in like kit PvP night, right? I go for someone where I'm like, right, your kit isn't very good. I can use, like, if people use crossbow kits in those games, I'm like, yeah, I'm going for you because you can't actually fight me if I get up close to you. And that is targeting, right? It is targeting in a full, but like, and like if some team's winning, you're going to target them, right? I think that's fair. You want to target them. You want to make sure that your team can beat them. Like if some team's second and some team's third, and so on and so forth. So I do think targeting does happen, but I don't think it happens for like stupid reasons. I don't think people just like pure hatred and go, yeah, I'm going to target you. I think it's mainly, if someone's next to you, you'll go for them, right? Pure parkour games have to stay, no matter how much people hate them. I think there is ways to base around this, right? I think Mania did it very well. I think the parkour game, Parkour Panic, or now Panic. I think Parkour Panic was bad, right? And I think original Parkour Warrior was bad because it basically, if you're a weaker player, you can't get as far as the better players, right? And then, especially with Parkour Panic, you'd have to watch the better players just continue through whilst you're dead. But recently with Panic, the way they integrated that system in, and you gain more points or you can go for more time, that's interesting. And games that like go, oh, here's an easy, medium, and a hard one, that's interesting as well. And especially, I think it's Tomru, where you can go through all the hards and then go through all the mediums and then go through all the easies. Those are interesting. I like those. But like games where it's just parkour and you're not given an option to do something else, they're bad. Like the new Parkour Warrior is sick. I love the new Parkour Warrior. So big ups to that. And I especially love playing it on MCCI. So I think that's still a pure parkour game, right? You're not doing anything else, but it's different. So that's where I stand on that. Don't take seriously how people seriously take it when they place low individually. They bring down the whole vibe of a team. Yeah, that can be certainly the case. I think that's going back to Mel's point earlier. You don't want to make it your team's problem, right? You can feel bad to do badly in an event. I know that, of course. Doing badly in every event I've ever played in. But, right, you just gotta... You gotta understand, how to bring up the vibes of a team is so important to a team doing well. Honestly, a bad team vibe straight away is going to ruin your event. It's going to ruin your event. Especially, I see this a lot when a team goes, "Oh, we have no chance of winning this event," and they all just decide. And I've been guilty of this. You just decide, "Oh, we have no chance of winning this event," and therefore you just don't put the effort in. You don't enjoy the event because you're just so obsessed with the fact you're not going to do well. I love how my screen keeps pulling in every time I get one of those. Team games are boring. I love Meltdown, best game. That's fair. Meltdown's pretty cool. That's your opinion. Single round games that force someone to spec the whole time, like MCC, SG, are bad and boring to watch. I do think that's fair. It's difficult, especially if you die very early, just to have to watch for like 15 minutes. Team games are boring to watch. MC games should avoid pity points for bad plays by splitting points that don't need to be split. I don't think that's fair. I think you can split points in certain things. Pure poker games are actively bad. We discussed that. I don't think team games can be boring to watch sometimes. I think the one in PB is quite intense. I think the more it ups your stress levels, I think that's better. I think if you get stressed during a team game, that's actually better to watch. I watch. Why can't I remember the name of the MCC team game right now? Blah 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 blah. I watch the MCC main team game. I can't remember the name of where they go room to room because I have a bad memory. That's stressful. That can be it's either really too easy or really stressful, and then I'm like, if it's really too easy, I'm not watching. If it's stressful though, I'm like more into it. But also it causes me more stress, which isn't good. Irish Potato, if you're inviting players to play an event and how big or small they are should matter too much with the events. Look for entertainment value. That is true. Also, events should try and outside of the main event sphere because rosters feel too similar. I agree with that. I think that just comes with time, right? Originally, you had basically all the people from like PB and Origins and so on all sort of dominate the event scene. But I think over time, more and more people get added, right? So I don't think that's always the case. I think we are just constantly seeing more people get added. We're seeing, but they all get added to the same events, I guess, is the issue. But it does mean there is an evolution, right? You're seeing like when Jackcast and Sandwich Lord came through, and nowadays you've seen all the Pookies take over and so on, which is sick. And it's new people to add to the events. It's really cool. It creates more dynamics, and you've got to be patient with it. I do think sometimes you have to realise that the size of the creator does matter, because these events aren't free and they do need they need some sort of public publicity. Some events, have a Patreon that you can go and donate to. They need people to be like, hey, look, this event, go and check it out. And you need the big players for that. So I do think that doesn't matter. But in general, if it's a small creator and they're really entertaining, then that's okay. That's pretty cool as well. Big ups to Mighty Bros 1. I think does that really well. He's just super entertaining. And therefore he creates fun times for his team, and that you want those type of people as well. You want the big people to have someone else that's entertaining on their team as well. So I think that's fair. Events need to find a way. This is basically about parkour, right? Where at the end the team gap doesn't exist when games like any PvP games you breathe incorrectly and lose 1k. I agree with this. I do think parkour, as much as I'm bad at it, parkour does need to be looked at sometimes. But for like parkour panic and panic, I know the teams, I think the points are a bit like more on the parkour, so it's just a bouncing of points thing. I do think that needs to be looked at, but like it's difficult. That's really difficult, and I don't even dare to go against it. Someone should down. No, Jesus Christ. Parkour tag is the worst. We'll look at Mel's again. Hi, Danny. Buyback is the second best event. I don't entirely agree with that. I think it is probably, like, for its first debut event, I would argue that's probably the best debut event of an event you've ever seen. I can't think of one that's that good. Like, obviously, new Block Wars, when it changed and split, I think that's pretty up there, but that's not the first event. But back in the day, like, you look at events like, I do think it was better. I think that first event is like more polished than MCC's first event is, and that's probably my most controversial opinion. I do think the like first buy and back, but that's just because they have so much to go off of. They have so much to like look at from the past and be like, yeah, that's it. That's what we need to go for. Anyway, Parkour Tag is the worst game of the 3 major events. It's so boring to watch. I love Chalice Chase. I'm not very good at it, but I think it's good, so I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's boring to watch. I think it's kind of fun, especially when people are juking people out. More luck-based games like Blitz Hunt or Spleef can feel the worst event games ever due to pure unluckiness. Again, it's little bits of bias. Like Pine, obviously, Parkour Tag is his least favourite, so there you go. And like Blitz Hunt or Spleef can feel like the worst ever games due to unluckiness and frustrating gameplay. That's just, again, it's just I don't think either of them are completely luck based, but you can get unlucky, right? And especially for like people like SD. I mean, I've got unlucky in a hide and seek game, the last Mania, and they can really grain on you and feel like awful. But I think in general they're just part of the event games, and I think you know. It's obviously a little harder to design and so on, but I don't think it's too much due to unluckiness. Like I think the latest buy and battle game, the hunting one, where you're little small people, I think that's good. And finally, we're going to end with Voidable. More non-Minecraft creators should be invited to events. It's super fun and can get people a new audience into Minecraft events specifically. That's true. And hopefully I can push to do that. Anyway, we're going to end there. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you all for watching, and if you got to this point, leave a smile in the comments. Peace!